Chasing that money, living for the thrill, aiming for the top, gotta make the kill. Street smart, no room for the weak. Cross us once, you'll feel the heat. Taking what we want, we don't ask for permission. Running with the wolves, a dangerous coalition. Living on the edge, no time for hesitation. Heal shit podcast, where the bad boys reign, never following the norm, always causing pain. What in this city, ain't nobody in the way, we're the kings of the night, here to stay. Chasing that money, living for the thrill, aiming for the top, gotta make the kill. Street smart, no room for the weak. Cross us once, you'll feel the heat. Taking what we want, we don't ask for permission. Running with the wolves, a dangerous coalition. Living on the edge, no time for hesitation. Heal shit podcast, where the bad boys reign, never following the norm, always causing pain. What in this city, ain't nobody in the way, we're the kings of the night, here to stay.
Viewer discretion time.
Viewer discretion is advised.
What up, Heel Faction? Welcome back to Heel Shit. Why do we call it that? Because bad guys do heel shit. I'm Dark Cordz, that's Draven Grimes, and with us for a special edition of HSP is Edgar from the Snug Wrestling Podcast.
Fuck, I ain't got it in me today.
All right, well, we got a list of only things 90s wrestling fans will remember or understand. I think it's understand. Will understand. Either way, we will be right back after this.
Cool! Living fast, we ain't slowing down. Always ready to turn heads around. Heal shit podcast, where the bad boys reign, never following the norm, always causing pain.
All right, fellas, how we doing?
Bitch, I am fucking sore. Like a motherfucker.
Draven had a match last night, so
A fucking rumble. I got dumped on my fucking kidney.
ooh,
Yeah, so I'm a little tender today.
the kidneys.
Yeah, but overall, great show. Everybody was safe. Unfortunately, I didn't win, so I didn't get the title shot. But
We'll get them next time.
yeah, I mean, it's not like I was the only one. There was like 28 other losers.
True.
Yeah, I was just the first one.
You were the
Jeez.
first one that got eliminated?
No, I just felt like I was.
Oh man, so how you doing, Edgar?
Good, man. I'm doing great. Feeling good. Good morning to everybody over here from my side of the country, the West Coast. It's 9 a.m., but I'm doing good, man. Glad to be back here on a Sunday with y'all.
Yeah, man, we got a fun list. It sounds like. So, why don't we get into it? What you got?
Yeah, since I saw what you guys did last week, and I was like, oh man, I can't believe I missed it. So I found another 90s theme wrestling list here from the Sportster, sorry, called Things Only Wrestling Fans from the 1990s will understand. So
Okay.
we're gonna go back in time and talk 90s wrestling. And the first thing on the list, right off the bat, real cutthroat competition. Companies tried hard to harm each other back in the 90s, not just the WWF and WCW, but I feel like probably, I mean, in the well, I guess not the territories. This is the 90s, so it was mostly WWF and WCW. Eric Bischoff tried tactics to hurt the WWE directly. Both companies try to put each other out of business. Compared to today's competition, it's not nearly as vicious or personal. What do you guys remember most about the competition in the 90s with WCW and WWF?
Well, I know that it was Bischoff's entire life to beat Vince in the ratings. That was his end all and be all goal. And he found a billionaire willing to give him what he wants. And they would do horrible, like really bad shit because at the time when Nitro started, Raw was pre taped. So they would have somebody go to the live show and then spoil the matches on Nitro. Be like, there's no reason for you to flip over there. It's this jobber and this people and some dead man beat some punk, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like that until it backfired the one time with Mick Foley winning the title.
Yeah.
They lost damn near all their viewers when they announced that Cactus Jack was about to win the championship at WWF. But yeah, he would do that kind of shit. He would target the same around about the same market and like give his tickets away for free. Like he was notorious for giving free tickets away, and that's what
Eric
makes me
Bischoff
laugh
was?
when he. That's what makes me laugh when he talks shit about AEW's attendance. Be like, yeah, if all they did was give away all the tickets for free, then they'd have a lot of people there also. You know, but it wasn't about the gate at that point. It was about ratings. And I remember one point. Well, this happened a lot, but one thing in particular, I was sitting there with my grandmother, and she was like, "Why do you like that stuff so much?" And I'm like, "They're the number one and number two shows on cable for the week, like not just their channels, for all of cable for the week." So I'm like, "I'm not the only one that likes this shit." You know, and I had to actually prove it to her. She couldn't believe that it was that popular. But it, yeah, no, it was vicious back then. And then when WWF started retaliating with DX and their tank and like that kind, like it, I think it was more of a game to Vince and less of a like he started paying attention when the ratings got really close.
Mm-hmm.
But I still don't think WCW was ever considered real competition.
No, not really. I mean, the closest thing they were ever considered real competition was, and this is just my personal opinion of it, when Hall and Nash jumped ship over to WCW.
Mhm.
And what was it, about 8 weeks or so after they officially announced they were over, Vince went and said that the return of Diesel and Razor Ramon was coming to
Yes.
Monday Night Raw. That was the closest thing to me that I felt that they were thought they were competition early on.
Mm.
Jesus Christ. I mean, God bless Vince because he fucking helped Nash and Hall secure like some fat ass fucking contracts.
Right.
Like fucking fat ass contracts. But as far as cutthroat competition, I mean, that's really just one individual's opinion to another. I mean, like you said, to Bischoff it was, to Vince it wasn't. I mean, it's similar to how Jerry Jarrett did Memphis and USWA.
I actually think that. Excuse me.
Cough, hack.
I actually think that Vince was more cutthroat to ECW than he was WCW.
Oh, 100%. Especially the way he just kind of just hit it like a fucking snake. Like, you know, yeah, come over here. Come over. Let's see what you can do. Let me just take some fucking notes of these motherfuckers real quick. See which ones I want to fucking grab.
Right. Yeah. So I think his vitriol was much more aimed at ECW, and they did dirty shit to them. So yeah, I mean, it was cutthroat all the way around, and I don't see that as much now. You don't see, especially between the big three, they just kind of live in their own thing. Like, they may mention each other, cross references, but there's nobody trying to do tactics to one up the other one.
Yeah, the only place you'll ever see that is in the fucking IWC.
Yeah,
because they are they are the cancer of professional wrestling. I
100%.
don't care what you say. You got guys like fucking Mr. Groins, Mr. Paint Chips himself. That's just like die hard fucking AEW. They're the only thing that does anything right. Then you got guys over here who do the same thing with WWE, and then you got guys over here. They're like, well, TNA is becoming the new alternative. Then they go like, oh well, WWE is helping TNA, and then like it just turns into a clusterfuck. I miss the days where the fighting was on TV and not on my phone.
yes.
Was it like that too back then? Because I mean, back then the internet wasn't that big, and I mean, in the '90s,
At least in my experience, because I was about to get out of grade school, going into middle school at this time. Yeah, it was like that, but it was because we were fans and we were children and we did it face to face, and if we had a fucking problem with it, we had Sting versus Taker in the fucking hallway. Okay? We had fucking Austin and Goldberg in the hallway. We'd either debate it with our mouth or our fucking fists. Either way, we got our fucking point across, and afterwards we were able to shake hands and fucking move on. Something that's been lost in this fucking current generation. Everyone has to be fucking right. Everyone has to fucking adhere to their fucking opinions and the way they see everything, and fuck what everybody else thinks.
Yep.
Fuck all that noise.
yeah, and also like the difference between back then is, Dark, did you say that WCW was never real competition?
I mean, I
WWF?
think they were. I just don't think Vince ever thought they were until
Oh, okay.
that 83 week point, when they got kind of desperate. But other than that, no.
I want to see AEW really stick it to WWE the way that WCW did back then, because I think that would be great for wrestling for everybody,
Yeah, but they
as
don't
far as
have.
like the ratings goes and stuff.
Yeah, they don't have the same environment though. The problem is like they knew all the up until Raw went live, they knew all the results ahead of time. You can't get that now.
Yep.
They're not on the same night, so running near the same market wouldn't do anything as far as attendance wise. And we have to understand right now that as great as WWE looks right now, it's all ticket sales. Like their viewership is dropping. their ticket sales are off the chain because they put on a great spectacle. So they're becoming more of a live event than they are a TV show. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if they're within 500,000 or 600,000 viewers of each other some weeks.
Yeah. But also look at it from this point of view, compared to where we were in the 90s compared to where we are now. We don't ever watch anything live anymore, except for special occasions. When it was the 90s, you had to fucking watch that shit live, or you had to be like me and go get a fucking VHS player and a fucking blank ass video and fucking record that shit and watch it the next day. But you still got the fucking rating from it because you had to fucking play it the whole night.
Yeah, you had to play it.
Yeah. So, I mean, those 10, 11, 12 million fucking views every week on Monday Night Raw and WCW, yeah, we're not going to get those numbers now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, not at all.
Like, when Mike Tyson and Jake Paul fought and they had, what, like 60-something million on Netflix?
Worldwide.
You know, we all talked about it, and in no way, shape, or form did we ever think WWE was going to get that on fucking Netflix. No way did we ever think when AEW went over to Max it was going to get the same fucking numbers, right?
Right. No, not absolutely not. But that's why I think the ratings calculations have changed to the, you know, +1, +24, and the +7. I think, I don't know. I just don't see a lot of the tactics working,
And
especially with a different time slot.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right. Like, unless there comes a point in time, which, you know, this is wrestling. We say never. Unless there comes a point in time where there can actually be some sort of working relationship between the two in some way, shape, form, or fashion.
Yeah.
We're not really going to see that cutthroat competition. That's just the nuts and bolts of that.
Yeah, and it's kind of a shame that they can't do some kind of a forbidden door thing between the two, because I'd love to see Ospreay and AJ Styles. I'd love to see this Moxley versus people in WWE.
Stuff.
Yeah. I think that there'd be some amazing things if they could open that door, but I don't ever see it happening. Because the dollars behind them are similar, the ratings aren't that different, and WWE would expect their guys to win every time.
It'd be the same thing with AEW. AEW expect their guys to win every time.
Well,
I mean, look at previous relationships with Impact, with AAA, with CMLL, or whatever the fucking Spanish
well, that's the
promotion was.
thing, though, is that just like with WWE and TNA, there at the time was a significant difference in AEW size, TNA and AAA and all of them.
Yep.
So it made sense that the bigger stars would go over, especially in a situation to where, like mostly happened, Tony would fund these forbidden door things. But if they could like go in half and half on an event and actually book it like it would make sense, that'd be the greatest show of all time.
You know,
I think WWE kind of is doing a forbidden door already. Ever since they brought Cody over, and then they brought over Jade Cargill, Ricky Starks, and all these people from AEW.
Then you got to look at it.
about.
Then you got to look at it from the other hand. When they brought in Moxley, when they brought in Keith Lee, when they brought in Malachi, it's the same thing. It's just how companies work. Sometimes one team doesn't work out, you go to the other team.
Yeah, but it's not like a partnership or anything.
It's not like right now the way Joe Hendry just showed up to WrestleMania.
Right.
It's not like when Jordan Grace showed up at the Rumble. It's not like when Mickey James showed up at the Rumble. Like it's very different. Rather than oh well, this ain't working out over here. I'm gonna go over here and see what happens.
It was just the past Friday night SmackDown when I saw Ray Phoenix teaming up with Jimmy Uso. I was like, what the fuck is this?
Right.
I never thought I would see that shit.
And it's not a bad tag team.
What up, Kozak?
I will say that.
No, it's not a bad tag team at all.
But
yeah. All right, well, let's throw it to our first commercial and get past this very first fucking entry on this list. All right, we will be right back. What up, Kayfabe? In today's day and age, internet security is of paramount importance. That's why today's sponsor is Surfshark VPN. Tell them about it, Draven.
It was really quite simple. VPNs are the way of the future. Keep your stuff secure, safe, and out of hackers' hands. You want to go watch Netflix over in Japan? Flip that shit over. You want to go watch the capital P word, and you can't because you're one of these states that got it banned? Flip that shit over to another country. Really quite simple.
Absolutely. Keeps your information safe, out of the hands of hackers. The VPNs, as Draven said, are the future. If you use the link in the description, you can get Surfshark VPN for 88% off plus 3 free months.
Damn, that's quite a steal.
Yeah, we're talking about less than $2 per month plus 3 free months if you sign up using the link in the description. Safe surfing, happy surfing, keep your shit safe. We'll get back to the show. All right, we are back. Want to remind everybody about the YouTube memberships. You get most of the perks for $1.99 a month. It's nothing. There is a $4.99 tier, but it includes like a monthly Zoom call. It includes like more personalized communication. But if you sign up for the $1.99 membership, you still get all the membership videos. You get all the merch at cost with your own merch store. All the emojis, all everything. So check it out. We'd love to have you as a member. Join for as low as $1.99 a month. And we appreciate it, guys.
Yep. Which, by the way, for our $4.99 tiers, the Zoom call will be happening this Saturday at 12 noon. You will be getting an email as a reminder this coming up Wednesday with the link and all that good stuff. So,
Yeah. What up, Richard? What up, Mateo?
Mateo. JC Mateo?
All of that.
Oh,
Don't hurt yourself.
I popped my hip.
All right. What's next on the list there?
All right, next thing on the list from the Sportster that only thinks wrestling fans from the 90s will understand is wrestlers as mainstream celebrities. Big stars appeared on every media outlet. Wrestlers had consistent mainstream crossover chances. WWE and WCW stars both had impressive opportunities. Mainstream appeal helped wrestlers make extra money.
3 words. Ready to rumble.
Ready to Rumble. Oh my God, that movie was so bad.
Oh, I love it, though. I love that
Yeah.
movie. It's so bad that it's good.
Hey, Mateo, thank you so much, brother.
Oh.
Let me see. Yeah, I mean, Hogan always had a television show on.
Fuck Hogan. Taker was on Suburban Commando.
He was.
Kevin Nash
He
was
was.
Super Shredder and TMNT 2. Please tell me you knew that.
I didn't, but yeah.
I have fucking failed you. Yes, Kevin Nash was the Super Shredder in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2. The fuck, man?
All right, well, whatever.
No, whatever.
They were in a bunch of movies and TV shows, but I think what this is mostly referring to is like when they would do Arsenio Hall and like those
Oh.
talk shows and shit like that.
Yeah, I mean, even though a lot of the times the hosts treated them like fucking sideshows, which really pissed me off. Yeah, they were constantly on the late night shows. I mean, remember when Yokozuna and his mouthpiece were on, what was it? Conan, I think it was Conan.
Yeah.
And like
It was-
Mr. Fuji was hilarious. All right, Mr. Fuji was hilarious.
Yeah, it was.
But it was Evelyn, the topic is things only 90s wrestling fans will understand. But yeah, I mean, Gold Dust was on late nights all the time. You know, it was WWE took a lot more advantage of it. You know, they had Macho on there a lot. They had, you know, the guys like that. But what do you think, Drew?
And also, I feel like back in the 90s too, talk shows were way bigger than they are now.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
everyone was watching
100%.
talk
And that
shows
goes
back
back
then.
to what we were talking about a while ago, watching it live in the 90s versus you can watch it anytime on your phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, in all actuality, the SNL 50th anniversary thing, I didn't watch it like 4 days afterwards.
No.
So it's not like one of the things I actively looked up. Um, remember when David Schwartz grabbed that motherfucker when he was trying to do an interview for a news channel, and he fucking legit choked the motherfucker out, right?
When Hulk Hogan did that?
No. David Schwartz did it too.
Okay.
Yeah, this was before Hogan did it.
Oh, okay.
So might not be as known. I'm sure Johnny knows what I'm talking about.
Hogan
Still
will
upset.
say he did it first.
Of course he will.
Of course he will. The fucking Mark. I swear to Christ. But there's also situations of, I can't remember the name of the show, but they had Sting, Lex Luger, and like 2 other WCW guys on there.
Oh, Family Feud?
No, it wasn't Family Feud. It
No,
was
'cause
like an
they did
actual.
that,
It was
too.
an actual like sit down talk show, and the fucking hostess was just trying to do everything they can to get them to fucking break and have them have violent outbursts and shit. To the point, and maybe you remember this one when Roddy Piper. It was Roddy Piper and it was one other guy, where he was so pissed off about what she was saying, like he pulled down his fucking pants. Is like, this is fake. I replaced my fucking hip for this business. My elbow doesn't bend for this business. My wrist cannot move for this business. You call it fake?
Right.
Like those
said-
those things.
That's the one I remember the most. He even
Yeah,
said,
you
"Ask,
remember that one.
Owen Hart's wife if wrestling is fake." Owen Hart dead.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
like it had good qualities and bad qualities of it. I mean, my personal favorite is when Bret Hart showed up on Matt TV and put Will Sasso in the fucking sharpshooter, but I'm just fucking biased on that motherfucker. But you're right. But at the same time, we now have workers, WWE superstars, whatever you want to call them. They're doing local news. They're doing the fucking weather. They're on radio shows every fucking week in whatever town they're in doing promotional work. Then you got Make-A-Wish on top of that. So it kind of never went away. To me, it just kind of blended into what our normal is in this day and age.
Yeah.
Whereas back in the 90s, oh shit, Stone Cold Steve Austin is on Regis and Kelly. Holy fuck, how the fuck do I remember that show? But if Stone Cold's on Regis and Kelly having a fucking interview, I'm gonna fucking sit down and watch that shit. I don't feel good, Dad. I need to stay home today because 9:30 Stone Cold's gonna be on TV.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, no, it was an interesting era. What about you, Edgar? What do you remember?
Well, you knew that if the WWE or WCW wrestlers were going to show up on TV, they were going to show up in full blown gimmicks, like they were going
Yes.
to be in character, and that was always entertaining because you never know how they would react to certain things, or what type of questions are they going to ask them and stuff like that. And now, they're a lot of the times they're working, but a lot of the times they're not. A lot of
Yeah.
times it's just like, yeah, it is what it is.
Especially when guys like The Rock and Cena became so huge mainstream and they were just talking like they were just normal people.
And it kind of become their gimmicks. Except when Dwayne comes back and does his bullshit.
Two biggest marks in wrestling are Hogan and
Dwayne.
Dwayne.
I was saying, Hunter's not that bad.
Yeah, Hunter's not that bad.
So anyway, what you got next, bud?
All right. So another big thing from the 90s was the importance of female characters. In the 90s, that was starting to be a thing, at least a way bigger, more known thing in wrestling. Women started to become a bigger part of the shows. WWE only had a handful of women starting in the 90s. Expanding female roster made product much better. WCW added more women to keep up with WWE.
Yeah, I
what
mean,
do you guys remember about that?
while there were managers and valets before the 90s, obviously, it really blew up with the valets in the 90s.
And that's because of the age demographic they were trying to fucking go for during the quote unquote attitude era, even a little bit before then.
Yep.
Like you said, it was there before. I mean, there's a movie out now, Queen of the Ring, that goes back from the fucking 50s on, right? So they have documented this shit. The first thing I ever remember, and this is probably like just the popular answer, of any woman doing anything with wrestling is Sunny.
Yes.
Girl next door. Seems like any guy could have her, and any guy did have her.
Yep.
I don't know how y'all feel about that one, but old Tammy Cinch was just throwing it, just throwing that shit everywhere.
Pieces.
And to me, you know, when that happened, I was too young to really understand the sexuality part of it. I was like, oh, hot girl, cool, next. But you know, more of your age frame, you know, you see a hot blonde out there in fucking skimpy ass clothes, you're like, turn that shit up, fuck everything else,
Right.
right? And then you got, you know, women like Sable come in, and you know, for people that like different races, you had Miss Jacqueline come in, which say what you will, fine.
Hot. Yes.
She was a fine woman. And then you had like Ivory, and then they started bringing in like Deborah for Jeff Jarrett and shit, which eventually became Stone Cold's wife at one point in time. Don't ask me how the fuck that happened. So I say that to say this. Women in wrestling at that point didn't really do it for me. It was, and it goes back to our list from last week. It was the characters that they portrayed.
Right.
And I'm talking about as far as the guys. Now, on the flip hand, when you got WCW, they were actually building up a women's division, which got me interested in women's wrestling, especially when they brought Medusa over and they did the whole title in the trash can thing, and then they actually made a women's wrestling division.
Right.
That's when I was like, oh shit, these women can fucking go. Why are they doing this over here on this channel? And then, you know, push come to shove, like, oh, well, maybe we should have our girls fucking work some. And that's what happened. And it just
Right.
evolved to the point, you know, women's wrestling, when it's done right, is one of my favorite things to watch.
Yeah.
And it's not because, you know, I'm a creepy little fucking perv. It's because there's things that women can do as far as telling a story that a guy can't,
Yes.
and vice versa. And that's what intrigues me the most. I mean,
Yeah. So short answer, the valet thing really exploded. I mean, I guess you know, Elizabeth was always around. They were always a couple, but when you start getting like Gold Dust Woman,
Gold Dust Woman,
what the hell was her name?
Luna Vachon.
No, Gold Dust.
Oh, Terry
Terry
yeah,
Ramos.
his ex-wife Terry.
With
Oh
her,
yeah, that's why Luna was after fucking Terry. That's
yeah,
why.
with her, and then Sunny, like it was an explosion.
Boy, was it.
What do you think, Edgar?
Yeah, so it's saying here that after Ms. Elizabeth and Sherry Martel got over in the 80s,
Yep.
WWE started adding more female characters such as Sunny, Sable, China, and Marlena,
That's
Marlena.
Terry.
Yeah, that's Terry Ramos.
and then WCW followed by pushing Kimberly Page, Stacy Keibler, Tori Wilson, and others. So yeah, basically the 90s ended with in the WWE with characters like Trish Stratus, Lita, which were like already top athletes in the ring when the 90s were over, and
Mhm.
that's pretty much what started like this whole women's division. So yeah, very important thing in the 90s was the women's division for sure.
Yep. What you got next, bub?
Started it all.
Haley, yes, the golden era was a good time. James, what's going on here? Talking about things only 90s wrestling fans will understand. You're welcome to join. Give us your opinions. Do all of that. Like and subscribe. All right, go ahead. Well, hold
All
up.
right.
Let's throw it to our second commercial break.
Okay.
And we'll be right back after this.
Vodka, Evolve, Castell. Indulge in the Red Revolution.
Thank you, Castell Vodka, for being our ride or die first sponsor. Stayed with us this entire time. We want to remind everybody about the YouTube memberships. Only $1.99 a month. You get all the members-only videos. You get the merch at cost. You get all the emojis and all that good shit. Also, there is a $4.99 tier if you guys are interested in more personalized communication. Hey, James, thank you so much. Speak of the devil. More personalized communication. We do a Zoom call every month. We have more direct access, but that's the $4.99 tier. But you get pretty much everything at the $1.99 tier. So,
Yep.
all right, Edgar.
And just a reminder, real quick, for the $4.99 tiers, one more time. Zoom call, 12 p.m. Eastern time. This coming Saturday. Y'all will get emails for links and reminders and all that shit throughout the week.
Absolutely. All right, go on.
The next thing on the list here, Draven kind of touched on this a little bit. It's watching shows live or missing it. Live factor provided extra appeal. Missing live airings meant missing shows altogether. Limited chances to watch a program back was hard. Today's fans have it easy. Have easy options to watch on demand.
Yeah, which
100% factual.
Yeah, and that leads to the ratings differential that we were talking about earlier. Is you had to watch that shit live, so the ratings were out of this world. But yeah, I mean, just like everything else in the '90s, if you really wanted to see it, if you really wanted to know what happened on your favorite show and be able to talk about it with your friends the next day, you had to watch it live.
Mm-hmm. Or record it on a VHS because some people had to go to bed.
All right.
Not all of us could watch 3-hour shows, Bischoff.
Wait,
That
so
was
you
the
used to
worst
record?
thing.
You used to record
Dude,
stuff
I
on
used
VHS?
to have. This is how it worked. I had 52 tapes. Blank
Wow,
tapes.
it must be nice to be rich.
No.
Blank tapes,
No.
they were cheap as fuck.
They weren't even that. Like, I'd go around the neighborhood and ask, like, you have any blank tapes you
Oh.
don't need? So, like, I never paid for these motherfuckers.
Nice.
And what I would do is I would label them, and I would have every week for the year. And once I got to the end of the year, I would go back to the beginning.
And
And if I
record
wanted
over
to
it.
watch it again, I'd watch it. If not, I'd fucking record that week. So I pretty much had the WWE Network before the WWE Network was a thing.
Self-built library.
So I didn't have Monday Night Raw. I had Tuesday afternoon Raw. So
Yeah,
like it.
hell yeah.
and then whatever else was recorded the following 4 hours after Raw on that
Oh,
tape.
of course, yeah. Before it stopped itself and rewound.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember having to do that a couple times. Like, oh, I can't watch it. Oh, it's cool. Pop in the tape. Watch it when I
Exactly.
come back. Oh,
Yep. The
fuck.
good old days. But you're right.
What up, Donald? What up, Donald?
People
How you
these
doing,
days
brother?
have so much access to so much content, basically for free if you include Daily Motion, YouTube, stuff like that, where viewership numbers don't really fucking matter anymore. Whereas back in the 90s, yeah, you did have to watch that live, or at least relatively live. Like you could get away with, yeah, I recorded it last night, I'm gonna watch it when I get home today, and we'll talk about it tomorrow. Like you could have done that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Half the time, you'd have 6 or 7 kids in your living room watching that shit with you. Trust me, my grandmother hated that shit religiously because they never asked to come over.
All right.
But she let us watch it, and then I have to listen to it after we're done, and then blah, blah, blah. You know, repeat next week. But it was kind of part of the thrill was getting to watch it live, relatively live, at least in my situation.
I still get that thrill. Like, that's one of the reasons why I pay so much money for YouTube TV, because I want to watch it live. Like, I don't want to be late on it. I don't want to find out afterwards or get spoiled on the internet. Like, I want to watch it in real time and find out what happens. Like,
And see,
I guess I'm just old school. I don't know.
well, it's not necessarily old school. I can understand where you're coming from. But as you're feeling like that now, I've lost that emotion. Like, I don't care if I watch it live because I'm going to find out in a couple hours. Actually, I won't even find out for a couple minutes because fucking people on goddamn Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram will post that shit like as soon as it fucking happens, to the point I don't even got to fucking watch it.
Right.
They'll tell me what's going on.
Yeah. I
Now,
don't
if it's
wanna
like
watch it
special
like that.
occasions like the Raw Netflix, or if it's like an anniversary special or a Saturday Night's Main Event, yeah, I'm going to do my best to fucking watch it live. But it's not like in one of the big four where I'm like, all right, I'm setting fucking time aside to watch this and nobody fuck with me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
99% of that I've lost. I'd rather go and spend the $10 at a fucking indie show and watch that because I feel that has more entertainment value than watching on TV. And it's not just because, you know, I'm there live with the crowd and I get to feel the emotion. It's just the fact of on TV, it's almost the same old bullshit, just getting rehashed every other year. Whereas at an indie show, you know, and it's a golden rule that was taught to me. Regardless of where you go, regardless how many times you've worked there, go out there and act like they've never seen you before to get yourself back over.
Right.
And a lot of guys still do that, and that's something that gets me, especially if I'm going to a show I've been at consistently 6-7 times. And I know this is their heel, I know this is their baby face, but they're still going out there and they're showing that, you know, for the guys that are there for the first time, you're going to know who the fuck I am by the time this bell rings.
Right.
You're going to know who the fuck I am by the time I walk back through that curtain. That just has more appeal to me. That gives me that feeling that you have watching it live on TV. Whereas everything's on demand now. Like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
Saturday night's main event was on. I didn't watch it until fucking midnight last night. You know.
Yeah.
And
What was that? Sorry, Draven, to cut you off. What was that PLE that was on Mother's Day? Was it Backlash or what was it? Yeah, Backlash in St. Louis, right?
Backlash.
Okay, so I was busy that whole weekend, so I couldn't watch it live. But I like turn my phone off. I make sure like no one messages me, tells me anything. I shut everything up. I'm off my phone because I don't want to get spoiled.
Mm-hmm.
And I watched it that night, like with fresh eyes. I didn't know anything, and I felt like I was watching it live. So that's how far I go. Like I don't
And
know,
that's
man.
fine. That's fine,
Uh,
especially from a fan standpoint. But I guess
Yeah.
it's just because I've been in this business for so fucking long. Like, I don't care anymore if I watch it live. I don't care if it gets spoiled. Like, on the way home, I was just scrolling through Facebook, and either he was updating me on the fucking show, or I was just catching it as it was getting posted. Like, I knew about Bronson when you posted it. I knew about Cody like 3 minutes after it fucking happened. Like, it don't really matter to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm either here nor there. I mean, I like to watch them live. You know, and I can't say that. I only watch them live because I don't go back and watch them. Even if I miss them, I don't go back and watch the whole thing.
No.
Like, I'll go through Instagram and say, hey, this person won this match, and then I'll go to YouTube and find that fucking segment.
That's right.
You know,
Or I just wait till the top 10 comes out the next day and just watch that because that's pretty much everything you need to know anyway.
right.
What was that? Ethan, Undertaker, scary as hell. Just imagine coming up to a family reunion and then that motherfucker's there. Been there a couple times.
Oh, man.
Anyway.
All right, what's next?
This next one's pretty interesting, you guys. Wrestling magazines being valued.
Oh my God, yes.
Provided things fans find online today. Magazines added another element for fandom. Wrestling rumors were in magazines before the internet. WCW and WWE both had monthly competing magazines.
Dude.
And it wasn't even that. It was PWI. There was a bunch of
PWI.
unofficial magazines that you could pick up for like half the fucking price.
Yo,
Dude.
every time I was forced to go to the grocery store, I hung out at the magazine rack.
You damn right.
Just looking through. It was PWI, and yeah, it was WCW for me at the time. I flipped through their shit too. Like, it was great. I remember I was pissed off. I was legit pissed off because I was young enough to still. It was still real to me, damn it. They had a ranking list of the top 10 finishers in wrestling. And the Scorpion Deathlock was number 2, and the Sharpshooter was number 1. I was like, you motherfuckers gotta be kidding me. I like threw the goddamn magazine. Like, I was pissed off.
It's like saying the Walls of Jericho's number 5 and the Boston Crab's number 4. It's the same goddamn move. Say what you will. It's
The
still
Scorpion
same.
was the original.
This is true. This is 100% valid. Go back and check the history. But I'm right there with you, dude. And I remember very specifically, this is just me being a fucking horny ass teenager, basically. But it was September 2003 WWE magazine. They did an interview with Maria Kanellis.
Okay.
No, 2004, excuse me. And they asked what her dream car was. And again, this is just horny old me because she's like, I'm not very picky, but if my significant other ever showed up with a Dodge Viper, we're not getting out of bed for a week.
That became your favorite car of all time?
No, still the 67 Shelby Mustang GT500 is still my favorite car. But that's why that's always stuck with me for some fucking reason. But you're right. Just like you at the grocery store, I was the same way. But I never looked for WWE magazine or WCW. I was always looking for PWI because I felt like that was the dirty magazine for pro wrestling. That was the stuff that you weren't supposed to fucking know about, right? And you're like looking at this like, who the fuck is Shinsuke Nakamura?
Yeah.
Like you keep going like, who's the Great Baba? Like you just keep going through this and like. Then you find
Giant Baba.
Then you find something. They called him the Great Baba in PWI. At least this particular one. And you're like, I don't know who this Hayabusa guy is, but he looks fucking cool.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it was the article about him breaking his neck and shit. So I was like, I didn't read it. I was just looking at pictures, just like flipping through it. But like,
they had a hard on for Japanese wrestlers.
Dude, PWI was like the Playboy of fucking pro wrestling to me. Like it was shit I didn't think I was supposed to see. And then you got today where everything is literally on Ringside, WrestleZone, Cultaholic, whatever. Like the art of a wrestling magazine has been lost.
Yeah. No.
And it's a fucking shame. It's almost like books. Like almost the art of books have lost its way because we have things like Audible. We have things like fucking AI being able to fucking read it to you. Like half the fucking fun of reading a book is narrating it yourself.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, yeah, what do you think, Edgar? Were you too much around the wrestling magazines?
Yeah, I was. While my folks, my parents would go into the store to do the grocery shopping, I would hang it around the magazine aisle and just look at the WWE, also WWE magazines at the time, because I wasn't really on the internet until I was like maybe like 15 or 16. So like a lot of the times I would still read magazines and I would just look for like the exclusive interviews in the magazines, just to see what so and so, whatever wrestler had any tea to spill, about their match or whatever. So yeah, I remember that was one of my things growing up was hanging around the magazine aisle, looking at the wrestling magazines for sure, man. That's I just never bought any. I would just stand there and read them and then just put it back. But I wish I would have bought some and still had some of them for old times' sakes. But yeah, man, definitely a thing that I miss doing for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. What you got?
Let's throw it to our final commercial break, and then we'll come back and get through these. Havoc Energy Drink is the energy drink for gamers and streamers by gamers and streamers. Not only does it have the B vitamins and caffeine that you're used to in your energy drinks, but it also has a healthy dose of creatine for mental acuity to help you win that next game or focus through that next stream. Go to tryhavocenergy.com and enter the code HSP10 at checkout for 10% off your order. Draven and I both love this product. It's our morning coffee, and we will not do without it. So go to tryhavocenergy.com, enter the code HSP10 at checkout for 10% off your order. Also, Amazon Music Unlimited. If you use the link in the description, you can get your Amazon Music Unlimited subscription for 99 cents for 3 months. That's the best deal I've seen.
Since Black Friday.
Yeah, since Black Friday for this Amazon Music Unlimited. So go check it out. Amazon Music Unlimited, 99 cents for 3 months. You cannot beat that. And we are back to the show. All right, fellas. Those are some good deals.
I'm surprised you have all that to memory.
Yeah, I just said all that. That's all right.
Well, I mean, you've been saying the same script for over a year now.
Yeah. Let's see.
All right.
Oh shit, Charles! Thank you so much for joining.
Hell yeah, brother.
All right, what you got next?
Up next, I think you guys are gonna like this one. Fans truly questioning kayfabe. Kayfabe played a role in the product. Kayfabe had promotions still treating it as real back in the 90s.
Yep.
Characters breaking the fourth wall confused the fans and made fans second guess everything, if connecting. So yeah, I mean, there was a lot. Well, there was maybe like a smaller percentage of fans that knew that it was all a work in the 90s, but a lot of people still believed it was real. So some people like Brian Pillman and others would still try to shoot angles or do certain angles like, this was still real and it was believable. So wrestling in the 90s compared to now was just a lot more believable, was it not?
Yeah. The worst kind of person in the '90s were those assholes would say, "Oh, you like wrestling? You know it's fake, right?" Like those motherfuckers.
Hey, you know those movies you watch, right? You know those.
Yeah,
are fake,
those
right?
are fake, right? You know that TV show you like? Yeah, the bitch ain't really shooting them.
Yeah. Well, it's different. Tell me how it's different, though.
Yeah.
Tell me. I mean, we kind of covered this last week when we did that other top 10 list about kayfabe, so let's not dwell on it too much. But you're right. And to be 100% fair, I mean, this is common knowledge for anybody who's watched this show for the last 2 fucking years. You know, I have family that was in WWF in the 90s. That was in WCW in the 90s. And they kept kayfabe around all of us. Right? You didn't really know the true them, especially if we were out in public. You didn't know the true them. Half the time we were like in a private setting, like either at their residence or they were at our residence or some shit like that. They would still keep up like the biker mentality of fucking 8 Ball and Heavy D, right? Or if they were working the executive thing in WCW with fucking Jarrett, they would fucking show up in full fucking suits and still play the fucking gimmick until they were 100% sure nobody was around that was going to fuck it up.
Right.
And that's just that old school mentality. And to a point, that was beat into my fucking head. But in this day and age, I mean, I'm not going to say kayfabe's completely dead, but that bitch has been on fucking life support for a decade. You know?
Yeah, I mean,
So-
do we know anybody that still keeps it outside of, now that Taker's gone, and he did it up to the time he retired. But other than him, does anyone live it outside of wrestling anymore?
MJF does.
Well, he's just a prick.
Yeah, I don't think
That's not
really
a gimmick.
That's not really kayfabe. That's just who he is.
Yeah.
Rick.
Or maybe that's what he wants us to believe.
Rick's still fucking. He's still Ric Flair. Like,
Yeah.
don't matter. Hogan, same thing. Like, he's just as two-faced outside of a fucking arena as he is inside of a fucking arena. He's just as fucking political. Honky Tonk Man. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But if you're talking about like current era, no, not really. Like they'll play a part of their gimmick, but you won't see LA Knight out in fucking public. You'll just see Eli Drake.
Yeah.
The man. Like he'll probably cut a little promo for you or take pictures, whatever. But he's not going to be LA Knight. Yeah. Just running around screaming yeah the whole time.
Yeah.
Unless he's paid to do so.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're not going to see fucking Stone Cold Steve Austin anymore go out with fucking knee braces on, throw stunners, and chug beer.
I think that's a big reason why no one really keeps or stays in character and gimmick unless they get paid. You got to pay me if you want to see, Sting with the face paint or Rey Mysterio with the mask or shit like that.
And the higher ups, yes. But if you go back to the independent thing, and this is where I draw a lot of my shit from. If I'm at a show, and you can vouch for this, you've been at many shows with me. From the time I get there, I'm Draven fucking Grimes.
Yeah.
Till the time I'm in my car leaving. And whether I'm babyface, I'll kiss women and shake babies or whatever. Or if I'm fucking heel, I'm gonna fucking I'll give you a fucking reason to slash my fucking tires.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm either nice guy Draven or I'm an asshole Draven. I'm not this. I'm not me at a show.
He's shaking babies, dude. That's
Don't
some
worry about
asshole
it.
shit.
I still gotta be heel, right? But still, I mean, you get the point. Like, there's still some guys that will still keep kayfabe in a wrestling environment such as a show. Like, even to a point of, you know, if we're doing setup and tear down, like, there's some guys that are still in gimmick while doing it. Like, they'll sit there and bitch and complain because the dastardly heel has to fucking do the babyface work.
Yeah.
And then you'll have a fucking babyface go cut a promo on this fucking heel as they're still fucking doing it. Now, it's all in good fun.
Yeah.
But you don't know who's fucking around.
Yeah.
Like, there could be just a fucking random 8-year-old that's coming out of the bathroom of that fucking gymnasium just happen to overhear this shit. And you don't want to see the main event that night, you know, being best fucking friends, and then you have to go watch them be, like, blood enemies.
All right.
Like, that's not going to work. So there's still some guys that do it. I feel like it's kind of a lost art, especially in the last, I'd say since COVID.
Yeah.
It really lost that fucking art on an independent level. But kayfabe is, I'm not going to say it's dead, but it is on life support because there's still a few of us that still adhere to it.
And yeah, in certain situations. Yeah. How about you, Edgar? Oh, you started the segment, so we know what your thought was.
You're like, I love kayfabe.
I kind of feel like I just want to throw this out here real quick, see what you guys think about this, but I kind of feel like they're trying more and more to bring it back, at least in the WWE, when they bring real life situations into the angles. Like the most recent one that I can remember was when Drew McIntyre, he took that choke slam from Damian Priest, smacked his head.
Mm-hmm.
Drew McIntyre brought that up in his in-ring promo. He's like, I'm gonna get you back for what you did to me after you smacked my head on the concrete. And that right there to me is like, oh, okay, so
Well, I
he's gonna
think
get him
that's
back for that, you know.
I think that's the
Just little things
opposite
like
of
that.
kayfabe, though. Like, I think that's bringing in Eric. Thank you so much. You the man. Now, what was I saying? I was too busy.
It was the opposite of
giving things.
kayfabe.
Oh, it's the opposite of kayfabe. When you bring real life stuff into the show, but we're talking about keeping your non-human gimmick when you're out in the wild. You know, Taker did it forever.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you're more like, I didn't hear stories of Sting being the Crow out in the wild.
No.
Like, he was just Steve Borden.
Yeah, but when he got to the arena,
Yes,
he was Sting.
correct.
Similar to how a lot of us independent guys fucking do it now.
Yeah.
And as far as your comment about Drew bringing it up, to me, it kind of does feel kayfabe-ish because they're just taking something that happened at a previous show and they're making it relevant for the next match.
Yeah.
So I can kind of see that. But if it was more like, insert shoot name here, you purposely fucking did this, I'm going to get you back, I'm going to potato you, you get a receipt coming, so shit like that, then yeah, that's when kayfabe breaks for me. But if it's one of those things similar to that, or if it's one of those things of CM Punk getting the fucking tsunami at Saturday Night's main event and he cracked a rib, let's say, right? And he's off TV for a couple months and he comes back and he calls Bronson by his shoot name, he calls him a fucking prick, which, you know, Punk could do that.
Mm-hmm.
And you could still kind of question the kayfabe of it. But to me, I do feel like they're trying to bring back some sort of kayfabe, but at the same time, I feel like they're trying to take it off life support, especially with all these behind the scenes shows that they're producing and putting out now. Like, nothing's a secret. Like, the curtain's almost fully pulled back.
Oh yeah.
On professional wrestling. And, you know, in this day and age, maybe that's what it needs for this new generation of fans to keep them interested in it. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, that new backstage show that they were doing, showing the progression of WrestleMania as far as the writers,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be all in that motherfucker. I'm watching the shit out of that. But that's also like my dream job is to be in that fucking room.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I can kind of see it either way. I can see it from your perspective as well as from Edgar's.
Also, too, that fucking word just gets thrown around way too fucking much by everybody. A bunch of people that have no business even using that word. Like, I've literally heard people use the word kayfabe, shoot, and like all these wrestling terms in the same sentence. That to me, it just lost all fucking meaning. Like,
And
it's
that's
so
the
annoying
thing.
sometimes.
The fans try to make themselves feel smarter than they really are by using the lingo of the locker room. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can go up to just a wrestling fan that says shit like that. And it's like, can you tell me what Broadway is? And they'll look at you like you fucking dumb. Obviously, you know what Broadway is. I know what Broadway is. Edgar, I don't know if you're that into the lingo.
No.
I'll tell you off air. I don't want to give out vocabulary. I don't want to give out carny shit. It pisses me off because, and granted, I'm fucking bad about it because it's just part of my everyday vocabulary at this point. Like, even if I'm talking to customers in my shoot job, like, what does that mean? It's like, oh, I'm sorry, let me rephrase this because I'm just so embedded in this shit. Like, if you go ask Billy, you go ask Johnny, like, it's almost a different fucking language when we talk. Like, it's English, but it's carny, and that's the lingo that we talk is carny.
Yeah.
But I'm right there with you. It pisses me off to no end, especially if it's just like some 19-year-old punk kid on fucking Instagram wanting to talk shit about what Dark said on a fucking video and trying to use words like mark and shit like that.
Yeah.
But you don't even know the origin of the word mark or what it really means.
Anyway, let's move on from kayfabe like the industry has.
We got a couple more, you guys, so we're almost done with this list.
Okay.
This one is probably going to be one of y'all's favorites because I know how much y'all love music. Entrances being as important as the actual matches. Theme songs started to spark electric reactions. Loud pops for entrances became part of the appeal in the 90s. Fans love witnessing special entrances at the live events. Entrances felt more special than the actual wrestling.
Well, that's kind of when, like, the giant Trons came into being.
Titantrons, let's call them what they are. They're Titantrons. They're always going to be Titantrons.
Yeah, I mean the giant Titantrons, whatever. But like the
highlight video that shown, the entrance video,
Yeah.
the light show to it, like it did become a part of the story of the match. Like,
yeah,
there's two references to that. It's bell to bell when we're talking time, and then there's curtain to curtain.
Yep.
9 times out of 10, main event only hears curtain to curtain. If you're on the undercard, it's bell to bell because you don't get like the spectacular Y2J pyro entrance. You don't get the fantastic 90-minute fucking Roman Reigns entrance, right?
Right.
You usually get like fucking Grayson Waller running down to the fucking ring, do your little thing in the fucking ring, and that's it. If you're on the goddamn undercard, unless you are just that fucking over in a promotion, which we were, but that's beside the point. It goes to the fucking story, and to me, in this day and age, it's either very overly produced or it's very underly produced. Like, let's be real. In this day and age, we're not going to get the same mystique and aura that we had with The Undertaker. We're not going to get the same fear that we had when Kane's pyro blew at the stage. We're not going to get that same feeling of, oh shit, when the glass shatters.
Probably not. But you get more artistic stuff now. You get stuff like the lighting with Jade Cargill's entrance. You
got that 20 years ago though.
I mean, it's not really the same.
Well, obviously because technology has advanced, but the same theory behind it was there 20 years ago.
But yeah, to me, presentation is what makes your gimmick. I mean, if Jade just walked down the fucking ramp like, Lyra Valkyrie and just kind of went in the ring and flexed once, she wouldn't be the same character.
Yeah.
I mean, that mystique and that visual is what makes her presence. Same thing with any of the top guys.
Mm-hmm.
I think Drew McIntyre has the lamest one of all of like the top tier guys. He doesn't have a memorable theme song really. Nobody can sing along with it.
Yes, you can. You go. Sound like EDM shit.
I mean, it was one thing when like he did the whole Excalibur thing and pulled the sword out of the ground or set the sword into the ground, whatever the fuck it was. It was a little different, but when you've got people like Jey Uso coming from the fucking top of the stadium and everyone in the arena is going crazy, or you have everybody singing 120 decibels along with Cody's entrance theme. Like, these are things that make your character. So yeah, starting then, it's
And
amazing.
even when it goes to music, unfortunately, we're still stuck with a lot of the Def Rebel shit and the CFO shit. Like, very minute stuff is mainstream music or Jim Johnston or anything like that. We're still stuck with very generic shit, and it's quite surprising how certain people get it over and it sounds like dog shit. Case in point, and I'm probably going to say heat for this, but Jey Uso's music, it's just a Def Rebel remix of fucking CFO shit. You know what I'm saying? But he was able to get it over by a simple fucking hand gesture and one goddamn word. Could you do that with somebody like fucking Delmo, El Fantasma, or whatever the fuck they're called? Could you do that with the LWO? I mean, LWO has fucking Eddie's fucking voice at the beginning of it, and it falls fucking flat as soon as that's done. You know what I'm saying? But then you got guys like Punk who has their shit leased out. You have fucking Rey Mysterio who owns Booyaka, right? It's
Booyaka.
yeah, like the presentation of your persona really means a lot. So I took that into account whenever I made yours, your second version. I went and did a couple versions for myself. I did new TFK music. I have this idea in mind whenever I see Dark Cordz come out. I have this envisionment of when TFK as a whole comes out. And I want that to be in the music. I want everybody to be able to understand these motherfuckers don't play, these motherfuckers are evil, and these motherfuckers are going to hurt somebody. Same thing for like Triple H. When you hear that first chord of fucking Motorhead for the game, you know shit's about to fucking happen.
Yeah.
When you hear Are You Ready from DX, you know you're about to have some fucking fun. You hear the fucking wolf go off for the Wolfpack, oh shit, we're going to have a fucking banger ass song, but a lame ass group. I'm being real. Like, and that seems to be lost. Like, if you go and listen to a lot of like new talent shit, it's all just generic shit with the exception of one or two.
Yeah. I think they need to just completely go to licensing.
And they license our shit.
Shit.
Dude, that Jey Uso song is so over, and it's crazy to me because he literally says 7 words in that entire song. It's just me, Us, day one ish. 7 words.
Yeah, but
That's all he says
there's
in the entire
something in
fucking song.
between there, right? After he does.
He just talks some shit.
Yeah.
That's
it though, but
Raven,
yeah, when it comes to music, real quick,
review from you and Cordz. You know what? We might do that for one of our premium videos. Like, just go through a setup video. Sounds like a good idea. All right, I'm done ranting about music. I can keep going if you want me to.
No, I'm done. What's next?
Oh, okay. The last one here is eras changing rather quickly. WWE had 3 different eras in a decade. WWE made drastic changes to shift the landscape. 3 eras meant fans had organic changes in WWE. Recent eras don't feel that different as 90's changes did.
I don't remember 3 in the 90s. I remember the golden era and the attitude era. The ruthless aggression era didn't come around until the early 2000s.
Now, are you meaning the 90s, or you mean like current product has 3 different eras?
Well, this right here is saying that the 90s featured the golden era, starting during the time of a more cartoonish stories, good versus bad. WWE changed courses to add more athleticism as the purpose of the new generation era. The biggest change came from the Attitude Era embracing the edgiest and most adult style in WWE history.
So here's the thing about the new generation era, and it gets lost quite a bit on this. That was more of a transitional time than it was an actual era. Like that was, I'll say it anyway, the era of the smaller guys being showcased more, showing that they can carry a company. You got Bret Hart, you got Shawn Michaels, and stuff like that. But even in the golden era, correct me if I'm wrong, Bret Hart was WWE champion. So you can kind of just transition everything from the golden era into the attitude era, and that new generation thing, I think that was just more of a plug to sell T-shirts. They had a lot of new generation stuff at that time with Ico Pro. Remember Ico Pro?
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember Ico Pro. I just remember that big ass fucking sign that said Ico Pro. Whereas now we went through the PG era from like 2008, and call it what you will. I think the PG era ended that night. Fucking Paul Heyman said we're in the Triple H era.
Probably.
That's where I put my money on. You know, obviously there'll be people like, no, there was this era, and then there was this era, and then there was this era. Like, I don't fucking care. It was all PG. All fucking PG. And since Triple H took over the reins and he officially took over everything, and we could tell from last year, that previous year's WrestleMania to this fucking WrestleMania that they fucking announced it, it's fucking night and day. It is a new era. It is the fucking Triple H era. And this fucking era is going to go on for a long time. Now, there's going to be fucking sub names for this quote unquote era that's going to come and go. But you had the golden era. You had the Attitude Era. You had the Ruthless Aggression era. You had the PG era.
Yeah.
And now you have the Triple H era.
Yeah.
That new generation or little sub here or little sub here don't really mean a fucking thing to me.
Not really. What do you think?
And then we got the Logan Paul era coming up next.
I'm out.
Yes, I had to at least one time each episode.
You accomplished your goal. All right, are we done with the list?
We're done with the list, y'all.
All right, Draven, take us out.
Hold on.
All right, hold
I
on.
got it. I'm coming.
You good?
Oh, my hips popped. It's like I gave birth. And they put back in place. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, do not forget this coming Tuesday night will be WIW with Dark Horse, Draven Grimes, and this motherfucker, Mr. Suck Logan Paul's dick, Edgar himself. God damn it. Damn it. Which we will be going over the Saturday night's main event results and the Monday Night Raw stuff and everything in between there and there. That's about it for that one. As always, we'll have HSP on Sunday. The new runtime, Johnny fucking Hughes, is 12 p.m. Eastern, 11 Central. So you don't have to keep asking me every Sunday. If you want to just ask how I'm doing, you can. You don't go like, what time is the fucking show today? Bitch, it is fucking 12 noon here on out unless something fucking changes.
And we'll let you know.
He'll let you know. No shirt, having big titty, no nipple, bitch. Anyway.
Who?
Yes, I told you I'll let you listen to the shit when we got off air.
Oh, I was about to say.
You've missed some shit. Let me just say that. You've missed some shit. And as always, like I said, the $4.99 tier Zoom call will be happening this coming Saturday at 12 Eastern, 11 Central. We'll be sending out notification emails. We'll be sending out link emails to everybody that's going to be involved. Try to be on about 15 minutes early if you can, blah, blah, blah. You know the whole fucking spiel. It's like a doctor's appointment for our bullshit. And let's see, that. Oh, the next time TFK will be in action will be the Chase Hansen show in Wausau at the Possum Palace. Please come out. Please support him. He's a great guy. He's done a lot for this business. He's a good friend of ours. And we just want to give him the proper send-off. So if you would, please make plans to be there.
And if you happen not to be able to be there, I will be at River City WrestleCon in St. Augustine.
Yes.
If you're closer to that, you want to come out, I'll be walking around. Say hi. I'll have my gear on. You'll know who I am.
He'll have Elwood with him too.
Elwood will be there. Yeah.
On Saturday. On Sunday, it will be the both of us. The
Yeah.
OGs will be there on Sunday. And with that, let's see, that. Also, fuck Carnage Club, that. The merch
Merch
is
beautiful.
Thank you, sir. As always, we have Forbidden Kingdom merchandise represented by my boy's hoodie over here, wearing the OG design. You can have the OG Heel Shit podcast design, as well as everything else. Dark Horse, Draven Grimes, Rip Ruiz, the fuck capital F Logan Paul shirt, which I'm still trying to figure out how he's fucking boycotting that. It's fucking weird. As well as tumblers, shirts, hoodies, shorts. Probably got socks down the line somehow, some way. I'm fucking gonna jump on those when they happen. We need to look at the bandanas one more time. And with that, I think we're done.
Ed, go plug your shit.
Yeah, and for me, hit me up at Snug Wrestling. Check out my show, Apple Podcast, Spotify. If you do, leave a star rating and a review. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. And yeah, thanks, fellas. That was fun.
All right.
Always.
So, for Draven Grimes and Edgar from the Snug Wrestling Podcast, I'm Dark Cordz. This has been Heel Shit. Why do we call it that? Because bad guys do heel shit. Peace.
Podcast, where the bad boys reign, never follow